fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, Izuku Midoriya, he's done a lot. He's been busy. He's just killed All for One, Overhaul, and the Doctor, absorbing somewhere around in between 300 to possibly even 400 years worth of knowledge. Now, with that being said, he was then arrested by the Pro-Hero Endeavor, since he was found within the Doctor's Nomu lab. Now, we do currently have at a police station, where Midoriya, he is sitting in an interrogation room, with both of his hands firmly handcuffed and placed on the table, as pro-heroes are trying to question him as to who he is and what his quirk is. Midoriya simply just stating that he is quirkless, to which none of them do believe. Now, this questioning went on for about an hour, up until Midoriya, he heard a familiar voice in the police station. This being whenever somebody does blow open the door and walk in shouting for everyone to get the hell out of his way. Exactly what are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing. Izuku. Everyone looking at Bakugo. Izuku? Is that your name, child? Yes, it is. What of it? Well, we finally have confirmation as to who you are. So, I'm guessing that you're a villain, correct? No, he isn't. Yeah, he was there with Overhaul. I'm guessing he's what took it down, right? Yes, that's true. The weapon you guys confiscated from me, Mr. Endeavor. It has bullets in it. Not just any type. These bullets can destroy quirks. I then flew over to the next city and helped that guy with 1,000,000 on his chest take down All for One. All for One. Yes. Now that he's gone, I can continue on with my research. Your research? That lab down there, that was yours, wasn't it? No. Before you arrived, there was a doctor. He's gone. I see. Well now, even then, you are still within police custody, and we will hold you here until we believe otherwise. Sorry, Mr. Endeavor, but I don't believe that that's possible. Now, Midoriya does actually go to stand up. The moment he does, all the pros go on defensive, while Bakugo is trying to tell them to just calm down, putting his hand on Deku's shoulder and saying that he must sit down. Besides, he hasn't seen him in about 5 years, right? Almost 6. Yep, back during middle school. Right after I got these powers, Midoriya says, saying that he will remain here, however, everyone watching Midoriya's hands and wrist elongate, along with his fingers getting skinny and bony. Midoriya then just pulling one of his hands straight out of the cuffs and holding it up, talking about how he's trying to get rid of these. What the fuck is that? He went through a quirk experiment whenever we were younger. But why are you trying to get rid of your abilities, Midoriya? Because this isn't a quirk. I am looking at a man with black hair, saying that he must be Mr. Eraserhead, is he not? Try to erase this. Him doing so. As everyone just stare at Midoriya for a minute. Him continuing on with his augmentation. Now, he does say that his quirk cannot erase mutant types. So, even then, it wouldn't have worked. I figured. Either way, listen to me. You cannot release my name to the public. Otherwise, the organization that captured me and tortured me because of this are going to try and come after me again. Everyone alarmed by hearing that. But rather than giving a rundown, the government facility, yada yada yada, we've been through this shit before. I don't feel like I need to explain it again. Everyone's quite confused and surprised. Now, this is whenever one Midoriya from the other interrogation room does actually walk into this one, alerting Bakugo and confusing the hell out of him. Now, this would be whenever the other Midoriya does just sit down at the table, or sit on the table, telling Bakugo that this is all just confusing him as well. He wasn't made aware of this ability until 5 months ago. Or 5 years ago, my bad. Now, everyone is still confused about the alien in his blood. However, he does say that Sir Night-Eye, he is vaguely aware of this. So is All Might. And then there is Mr. Shield. Now, hearing that David Shield knows about this would interest quite a few heroes. Midoriya explained that after he escaped, he went to that island. And they've been helping him ever since. He believes that he finally has all the cards together to make himself human. Now, this is obviously a crazy story. Until somebody is brought in who can get the proper truth out of Midoriya. Voila! Shinsho. Him asking Midoriya questions. Both Midoriya's perfectly responding. With the exact same answer. Now, with that being said, eventually All Might and Mr. Night-Eye, or Sir Night-Eye, my bad, do arrive. Sir Night-Eye explained to the pros the situation and to let the boy go. The moment they actually do let Midoriya go, he does stand up and begin to walk out of the police station. Multiple people actually seeing him, as they're taking photos, wondering exactly who this mysterious pro is. All of them watching as Midoriya, he does simply just do one thing. His skin turns into, well, bone. And then his muscles do actually stretch out and get bigger. Then watching as Midoriya does somewhat grow in size, it does actually spread a tail as well. Turning around and looking at everyone, telling them not to come after him. As wings shoot out from his back, and he flies off. Now, everyone who did see that was quite intrigued. And, well, yikes, to say the least. Now, Bakugo, he's obviously not going to let this shit go. And he does actually go after Izuku. As he is talking with some people over his own comms. Now, with that being said, Bakugo and his little group do head after Midoriya. Whenever Midoriya does actually get to his lab, he does give Mr. Shield a call, telling him about how he's found a place. And with the knowledge he does have, he believes that he can put it all together. He will be human again. Now, Mr. Shield is ecstatic, and does want to go over things with Midoriya. Now, Midoriya, he does actually walk around the lab, looking at the Nomu. And he does find them to be quite disgusting. And this is whenever Bakugo, Mina, Froppy, Kirishima, and Todoroki, they actually all do break into the lab. The same way that Midoriya got in. Now, they did come by a few minutes later. Whenever Midoriya, he's already writing down his own plans. Now, they all do walk in, and find this place to be creepy and eerie. Some of them freaking out seeing Nomu. As Bakugo simply does try to get more information out of Midoriya. Shouting and basically ranting about how he's been dead for the last 5 years. How there's only been that one phone call, that one point of contact. He didn't want to make a phone call on his birthday, his mother's birthday, holidays, even to simply check in on them? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like I explained, Bakugo, the alien in my head. No one is safe until I get rid of it. And this is how. Now, Bakugo, he does at least tell Midoriya to call his mother and let her know she's going to see the news about you and the facility. Telling Midoriya to give all the information he has to the pros. They'll look into that. He'll make sure of it. Alright, Bakugo, I will. Bakugo and his team going to leave. A bit quicker than they should. Midoriya telling Bakugo that after this is all over, hopefully things can somewhat return back to normal. Bakugo talking about how Midoriya, he killed a villain. The closest thing he's going to get to normal is not being in jail. Now, Bakugo does leave. After he does leave, he does actually get away from his team for a minute. Him finding a place to hyperventilate and actually have a bit of a mental breakdown. Too many Nomu, too many Nomu, too many Nomu. Now, with that being said, we do have the following week. Mr. Shield is brought to the lab, using that little Nomu that can teleport people. And well, yikes. He does see everything. And they do go over the doctor's own research and development. Midoriya, he knew the doctor was up to something. And now he does know for sure. As yada yada yada. Experiments, failed projects. Midoriya knows it all now. And he actually does instruct Mr. Shield as to the process that they are going to be going through. It's going to be a bit strange. However, we're going to need a baseline sample of human DNA. Something that will be easy. Now, Midoriya is put into a test tube. And before he does actually put on the mask, while the tube is filling, Melissa does tell Midoriya that they will fix him. Her putting her hand up on the glass. And Midoriya simply just smiling and nodding. As he does put on the mask. Now, with that being said, the other Midoriya, he is actually helping out with this. If the project goes good, then that means that sometime in between the process, Midoriya will disconnect. Midoriya won't be part of the hive mind. And at that point, they will know if they are making progress. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he does have this all happen. His body broken down, and basically turned to sludge. As they are going through and filtering out the unneeded parts. And they do use human DNA, let's say Melissa's own, along with at least what they did have of Midoriya's on file for his medical record. They use it as well. Now, with that being said, this is where things do get a bit trickier. The process will take a few months to fix Midoriya. And after 6, Midoriya is still within his cocoon, hibernating. However, the other Midoriya has not witnessed any change in this one's progress. He seems to just sit there in front of the cocoon, while it's in the tube, watching, and waiting to see if something does happen. Now, with that, we also do have the pro heroes, who did get the information from the other Midoriya, and that government agency or the original company name has gone under fire, as they do try and distance themselves from these accusations. However, there's one little mistake. One day while Midoriya is watching the test tube, he suddenly feels a vision, as his eyes go wide. And there it is. He's looking through something. He's fighting against something ferocious. And it's actually running away. The beast running and moving fast. As a hole gets punched up to the top of the roof, and he feels pain in his shoulder. As he's pulled downward. To which he does actually smash into the ground before being kicked, hitting the wall and looking up. Looking to see Midoriya's own monstrous form. Monster. Alien. You're dead. The beast being rushed. As Midoriya, he actually does jump backwards and clutch away at his chest. David Shield and Melissa actually looking at him. Ask him if he is alright. Midoriya looking up at him and just looking around, along with actually looking down at his own hands. What the fuck? No. What was that? It couldn't have been. Did you just... No. Midoriya is screaming out in anger, realizing that his job isn't done, and that there might be something else. There's another infected just like him. Now, meanwhile over with Midoriya 3. He is satisfied with his work. He's hunted down the thing to its nest, somewhere deep under the city. And after him heading into its nest, it ran away. Ran to an abandoned building where it could not be found. However, that did not work out very well. This Midoriya was relentless and merciless, and he absorbed everything he could, torching what he could not. The rest of the nest underneath the city silently burning, everyone blissfully unaware. As this Midoriya does head back to its pickup site, where we do have its captors, or its, well, what's the right word? Handlers. There we go. And it is looking on at them. All of them seeing him. Now, with that being said, they do instruct Midoriya 3 that he has to make an announcement to the world. Him looking at them confused. As they do scan him. As he's hyperactive once again. His cells seem to be aggressive. And, well, he's on the verge of an evolution, you could say. He seems to have already been different from the other subject, lacking certain abilities. However, he has yet to show a divide. Now, a divide is what they do call it whenever Midoriya split into two. And this Midoriya always seems to be constantly on the verge, but it would rather eat its own energy or eat its own self to stay one being. So, what does that really mean? Now then, with all that being said, the next day, this Midoriya does actually go to make an announcement. As Midoriya 2 is on the phone, waiting for it to ring, somebody does pick up. And Midoriya has called his mother, instructing her that, or at least saying, the words, "Happy birthday, Mom." Inko almost breaking down as she was watching TV, falling backwards onto the couch and asking Midoriya a million questions. Now, Midoriya does to proceed to answer some, and Inko, she is curious about a lot of things. Midoriya explained to her that he's trying to fix himself, and that they're actually doing that right now. Okay, honey, just please come home soon. You've worried me so much. But how are you doing this? Huh? Fixing myself? Well, I split into different pieces. I've split in half once already, and we're fixing the me in front of me currently. Oh, how many times have you divided? Oh, a lot, but the other duplicates got destroyed. Oh, so that explains the one making a press call, right? What? Midoriya actually going to look online, finding a live feed of the press conference, where we do have Izuku Midoriya announcing that he is alive and he is well, and that the experiments the company has been doing against him are lies. He has been a willing participant in the whole thing, and that he just wants to understand his strange powers. If he does not regulate them the way he should be, he will be killed. Now, this Midoriya does urge pro heroes to drop their investigations and to simply leave it be. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.